inmate at correctional center. To accept this call, press or say 5. To refuse this all calls other than properly placed attorney calls may be monitored and recorded. Thank you for using IC Solutions. You may begin speaking now.
All right. So first of all, thank you for taking the time to do this interview. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
All right. So first of all, how are you feeling through all of this as far as, physically and emotionally? What is it that you're feeling right now?
Well, for me personally, the feeling is mostly frustration. Being at a place that's so small, Oregon Correctional Center is a very small center. And, a lot of people here don't know what's going on. So because they are unaware of, the seriousness of this virus and, what can happen if one catches it, especially in this small place, I feel like the steps that should be taken to prevent us from catching it at all are not being taken. So, it's just more frustration than anything else.
Yeah. So how do you get your information? Like how are they notifying you or telling you what's going on as far as for you to be able to know what precautions they're taking versus what should be taking? How are you getting your information on the inside?
Well, the steps that should be taken first and foremost is, the staff that's coming in and out of this place should be more protected. They're not wearing masks. I don't know. We are told that they're taking precautions, like as far as taking temperatures and stuff like that, but we don't know that. We don't get to see that. As far as the overall attitude from staff, most don't even take it serious. So it's kind of like, it's almost taken like it's a big game. Like, it's not going to be serious until someone catches it here.
Right. As far as your knowledge of things, are you receiving the memos and things like that from the state also?
Well, there's a memo that was posted on March 13th here by Kevin Carr, apparently letting the population know that no one under the care of the Department of Correction has the virus, but we all know that that's false. So the memo itself has not been changed. Now, as far as what's going on in other institutions, we only get that news either through community newsletter on email blast or whatever we get to know what's said on the news.
Oh, okay.
That, we don't have any idea what's going on. Now, as far as personal cases, I myself have tried to get tested. I myself have made people aware of my pre-existing conditions because I suffer from asthma, bronchitis, and not 7 months ago I had surgery for sinusitis. So I put in HSU slips. I've written the superintendent here, and I'm getting denied to be seen at all costs because I am not showing symptoms.
Right, so they're waiting for something to show up before they're testing you is what they're telling you.
Yeah, but I feel that if you start showing symptoms at that time, it's too late. Because, once again, I want to emphasize the seriousness of how small this place is. And as far as, like, the steps that our country is taking with social distancing, it's almost impossible for you to have that done here because, there's no wet cells. Everyone uses the same bathroom. Everyone uses the same shower room. And, this place, it's one long hallway. Like,
so you don't
only 5 feet across.
You don't have your own sink or anything in the cell that you're in, correct?
No, we do not have our own sinks. We do not have our own showers. And the living arrangements here, there's 4-man rooms, 2-man rooms, and only 5 single-man rooms. So anyone who's basically bunked up with someone else, you're at risk. And there's several inmates here who have sleep apnea, so they use these machines, and without having access to these machines, they can't breathe, they can't function right. So it's a hard situation here.
And being that this is a community correction, so you guys had access to the outside already. Like many of you were already working in the community, going to college in the community, etc. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
That facility you're in being smaller, it's also non-fenced. So it's basically like you've got 1 foot in the community and 1 foot out already.
Yes.
All right. So then,
I myself,
go ahead.
I myself have been in community custody for almost a year. And I was one who, I attended college at Madison College at the Truex campus. And I started working for Madison Pre-Hung Doors. Now, a lot of the inmates here were looking into a DAI policy, which is, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say it's the 327, I'm not sure, but I will look into it and let you know about it. And basically states that people, whenever there's an emergency like this, people who are in community custody are basically eligible for monitoring bracelets, to go home with monitoring bracelets, especially for them to have the room they need to take care of any inmate that gets infected or gets sick or, needs special attention. And we're not hearing anything about it. We've made this aware. There's several inmates here who've made this aware to plenty of people, and we're not getting answers from anyone.
Right. And then what about as far as your communications on the outside with family and things? How have this affected your ability to be able to get answers and speak with your loved ones and check on things outside of the facility?
Well, I can only speak on my personal, situation. They limited, first and foremost, they started limiting our calls because there were too many people using the phone here. Being that this is a work release center, a lot of people are able to put their own money on the phone, so you have a lot of people. There's 120 people here at the present time. Its max capacity, I think, is 126. So we have 6 open spaces. But other than that, we have 120 people here all day long. We eat in a small cafeteria area. There's 12 tables. And what they did was they limited how many people would sit at the table to 3. So all they did was take 1 chair off the table. So again, it's not something. If one person catches it here, there is no way it's not gonna run rapid. That's basically it. Now, as far as personal situations with loved ones, there's nothing we can do. We've even I personally asked for permission to send money out of my work release account to help my loved ones, my daughter, and the people that I care about in the streets, and I was denied that. And then what ended up happening was they put a memo and allowed us only to send $200 at a total max. Now, $200, we all know, won't even take you shopping for a day for food. That will not last a week in our household. And, I feel that we should be allowed to help our family members who are not working.
All calls other than properly placed attorney calls may be monitored and recorded.
Who need this financial support, because by the time, these so-called stimulus checks reach anyone, people are going to be in desperate situations. And that also, messes with us personally, mentally. You know what I'm saying? It frustrates us more. It causes, anxiety. We can't help our loved ones. We can't help ourselves. We can't do anything about this. So, once again, me personally, on top of serving a heinous and horrific sentence for what I did wrong, now there's a possibility that I can get sick and quite possibly die because I suffer from asthma from this virus.
Right.
There's, I'm at a loss for words because once you get to this point where I'm at, where it's just constant frustration and constant, it's like you're blind because they won't say anything and they're not doing anything to help us at all.
Is that something that you feel around the whole facility, that the rest of the people are displaying that same kind of energy, or how what does it look like as far as in there? How does it feel in there?
Absolutely. I mean, when you have 120 men compacted into a small facility, and each person's situation is important to themselves. You have people arguing over the phone. Who's next on the phone? You have people constantly frustrated, constantly irritated. So when you're dealing with attitude, then on top of that, you're dealing with, there's at least a good 3-4 guards here who are absolutely adamant about making our lives even more impossible. Being rude and not going out their way to help us. Like, it's a sad feeling because it's like we all, I'm not going to even say most, everyone here worked hard to get to this point. This is not something that's given to just anyone. You have to work hard to get work release.
Right.
And then when you get to this point with this happening, you would expect some kind of decency, some kind of common courtesy, which is not happening.
Right, because now you guys were already working, and it's not that the job itself shut down, but you were pulled from your ability to go to work release, and now you're staying inside. Correct. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, that's basically it. We're staying inside. Before they took the jobs, I want to say on March 16th, if I'm not mistaken. But prior to that, I myself, once again, I was sick. I had gotten really sick to the point where even the week prior to them taking the jobs, they made me stop working. So we had a situation here, I'm saying in the past month, where at least 20 people were sick with either flu or strep throat or bad coughs and colds. And, You had everybody walking around with masks and whatnot and, quarantined to their rooms. But once again, quarantined to your room, you're basically mandated to stay in your room, which is basically called room confinement, while you're in the room with someone. You're in the room with either 3 other people or one other person at the least. So it's really not a quarantine. You're just on room confinement with someone else in the room.
And then you still have to use the same restroom as everyone else and eating facilities as everyone else, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Well, is there anything else? I mean, you have the ability to share a little something about what you'd want people to understand as far as what it's like to be inside during this. Is there anything that you want to share for others to get a better idea as to what it is that you most want them to be aware of? Whether it be, because, you're struggling with being high risk and not getting any answers, or what is it that you want to share?
I mean, to be honest, there's not nothing that the community, the state of Wisconsin itself does not know about this prison system. It's sad when you have to deal with these situations because even when you get punished for doing something wrong, you take accountability, you hold yourself responsible, you take the steps necessary to be able to change so that you don't get put in this position again. But once again, I always like to refer to my personal situation. When you're dealing with this type of injustice, this type of treatment, how do you have faith in a system that you're supposed to follow?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost impossible, and there's nothing that I can personally say that everybody doesn't know already. The ridiculous sentencing, the biased treatment, it's sad. It's disappointing, but you have to live with a mindset.
Other than properly placed attorney calls may be monitored and recorded.
You have to live with a mindset and an attitude that nothing's going to stop you from becoming the person you want to be. But when you're faced with something like this, it's hard not to be frustrated, even disappointed. But all I can hope for is that, the man upstairs is listening to my prayers and the people in the community are listening to our cries. Because without you guys, we don't have much of anything else.
Right. Well, just so you know that there are a lot of people that are fighting on your behalf. We definitely care about you and your well-being, and we appreciate you at least sharing what you can share, and that we can try to give back whatever we can as well. We're rooting for you guys.
Remaining.
I mean, all I could do is say that I appreciate everything everyone's doing, and just hope for the best. That's all I can say. That's all I can say, and that's all I can do right now. You guys are our voices, and without you guys, I don't think we're going to make it out of this.